Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Localify tutorial series. In this video, we'll learn how to connect localization keys to your in-game UI and build a fully localized interface. But before jumping into the gameplay side, let's quickly go over a few important runtime settings to make sure everything works smoothly when the game starts. Here in the runtime section, you'll find a few checkboxes and options worth enabling. Save selected language automatically. This allows Localify to store the selected language using player Plas, so you need to save it manually. It's handled automatically. Use device language on first launch. When the game runs for the first time, Localify will try to use the device's system language if it exists in your language list. Fallback language. This is the default language shown if no matching system language is found. You can also use Add New to add more languages and Clear Save Language to reset saved preferences. Useful for testing or switching users. Alright, now that we've reviewed the runtime settings, let's switch over to our scene and connect our first localization key to a text element. Since we're using TextMeshPro, we'll use the TMPro text translation component. Let's take a look at the key field. Here, we need to enter the localization key that should be displayed by this component. To make things easier, you can use the Select button. It opens a searchable list of all available keys. From there, you can simply choose the one you need without typing it manually. This window also allows you to add new keys or edit existing ones on the fly, which makes managing your localization much faster. Below the key field, you'll see the default value for the selected key. In the Preview section, select a language from the drop-down and click Preview to see how the text will look. We'll skip the Style field for now. It will be covered in a separate tutorial. Let's move on to the Text Extras section. Here, you can add a prefix or suffix to your localized value. This helps keep your localization values clean and free of formatting symbols. For example, a suffix might be something as simple as a colon at the end of a label. If you enable Mark as Important, Localify will add an exclamation mark with proper grammar, depending on the language. Great. Now that all the keys are connected, we can preview how everything looks in different languages. With multi-preview, you can do this right in the editor. No need to run the scene. But keep in mind, this only works for static localizations. Now, let's hit play and make sure everything works correctly at runtime. To make your UI more flexible and dynamic, Localify includes a handy utility component called TMProTextBackgroundArea. This component automatically resizes a background object based on the size of the localized text, which is especially useful when working with multiple languages, where text length can vary significantly. To use it, simply add TMProTextBackgroundArea to your background element and assign the TextMeshPro object into the corresponding field. You can also adjust the padding values to control the spacing around the text and achieve a clean visual balance. You can also test layout responsiveness using the built-in preview field, where you can manually input text to see how the area behaves. However, keep in mind that the width doesn't update automatically when the text changes. To solve this, you'll need to add the text translation notifier component to the localized text object. Then, link its event to the resize area method from the TMProTextBackgroundArea component. This ensures that every time the localization updates, the background adjusts its size accordingly, keeping your layout adaptive and polished. Additionally, you can enable the Use Min Size and Use Max Size options to define bounds for the resizing, giving you even more control. This setup is not limited to localized text. It works just as well for numeric-only fields like currency values. For example, in my currencies bar, each number is wrapped in its own auto-resizing background. The parent object uses a horizontal layout group, allowing the entire bar to stay clean and responsive as values change. The same approach can be applied to other dynamic numeric fields. In this case, I'm also using it for the player rating, which displays a single number. The background adjusts automatically based on the length of the value, keeping the layout visually balanced even as the rating changes. Whether you're working with localization or plain numbers, TMProTextBackgroundArea adjusts based on text length, giving your interface a consistent and professional look across all languages and content types. That's all for this video. We covered language setup, connecting localization keys through components, and building flexible layouts with helper tools. Thanks for watching, and happy localizing!